I was recently able to attend a preaching conference, and the conference was on trauma, the collective trauma that we have all been through in these last couple of years, in addition to other kinds of trauma that different people experience throughout their lives. And in the course of that, I heard no less than 4 sermons on the scripture passage of the man in Gerasene who was affected by a demon. And remember, Jesus cast the demons out and put them into the pigs, and then the pigs went off of the cliff. And the main focus, I think, of that story is that this was a man who was completely outcast, and the levels of trauma that he had experienced, only a few of us could even begin to imagine. Jesus came and went right to him. And what he did in casting out those demons is restored the man to his full humanity, to his the divine spark that is in him. He restored the very image of God in him. We know that all people are created in the image of God. But often in our world, in our society, with all of the language and different categorizations and prejudices that are around us, we become influenced by those things. I heard another story that I think was a call to me, and I hope maybe it is to you. Someone was telling the story, one of the preachers, about Desmond Tutu. He came to visit a seminary, and he was preaching. And while he was preaching, one of the seminarians was sitting next to the dean, and he anxiously tapped on the dean's shoulder, and the dean gave him his attention, and he said, that man is holy. And the dean said, well, how do you know he's holy? And the seminarian said, because when I am with him, I feel holy. I feel holy. That's one of the things that Jesus did over and over and over. He went to the person that was outcast, the person who was afflicted, and he restored their own recognition of their own holiness. He connected with the holiness in them. And so I pray that even in the midst of all of the many sources around us, the sources and voices that diminish others because they're different than us, because they exhibit behaviors or live in circumstances that are unknown to us, that we still will honor the full humanity in them the way that Jesus did. One of our members shared with me a quote from Maya Angelou, and she was reflecting on living as a person with mental illness, and just sharing how important it is to be able to sit at the table with all and to honor all in the way that Jesus did. And it says, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. That's a word of conviction for me, and I pray that it will be for you. No matter who you encounter, no matter people in any kind of life circumstance that you are hearing of, speaking of, and that especially we could filter out the countless judgments that are there in our society and even within us, and that we would honor the holiness and the spark of the divine in every person, so that people might say of us, we're holy, not because we're so good or better than anyone else, but because they feel holy when they are with us.